Tento program vám přináší Eden Vale Aerodrom. Dobrý den. Taneční skupinu Margaret Morris pod vedením Eriky Wiesnerové vám v našem programu představujeme pravidelně. V létě jsme navštívili letní workshop v Peterborough.
Well, this is our 34th annual summer workshop. So we started here in 1980 at Trent University, and practically all of them were held here with a few exceptions, but we always like this place the best. This year we have a really good showing. I think we have over 85 participants, which is great, children and adults. We have children, and they are divided again according to their age, and they have different grades exercises. They can learn these exercises, and then at the end of the week they can be examined in them. But of course they also do dances at the same time. All kinds of interesting stuff like kickboxing and hip hop, which they really love. And then of course we have adults, and adults also work at their own level of fitness and have an opportunity to advance, and if they wish. And then also we do dances throughout the week, all kinds of different kinds, and we also prepare dances, then we show them at the end of the week.
I'm from Hamilton, Ontario. I actually work in a hospital. I work in palliative care, and in the past, I haven't done it recently, but in the past I've run classes for seniors. These Trent Workshop, I'm one of the teachers with the kids. I was working with special needs kids, and my sister actually found out about MMM and suggested I contact Erica, who was the president at the time, to find out about the program that they had that was a remedial program for persons with disabilities. And they were quite encompassing and very, very open to have me involved, because I had full classes of kids with disabilities, and that's where my career kind of started with MMM. They're quite a large group. This is probably the largest group I've had here during the summer workshop, but it's great to see the kids come. They really do have a lot of fun. And yeah, there really was quite a variation of ages there, but it's kind of neat because they really kind of keep each other in place, and because they want the dance to go on, they want things to happen, so it's kind of nice. For the future, I think it's just the free expression, and there's a little bit of being able to be controlled to a certain extent within group settings, but building up their confidence, having them enjoy music and enjoy movement, and just to be free.
We like to invite people from different disciplines, different methods of movement, and basically we all kind of go for the same end result. It's just the approach is a little bit different. We usually have guest teachers, senior guest teachers who come from the International Association of MMM, and we have them coming from England, and we have from France. Last year we had also people from Japan. We've had people in the past from Switzerland. So we hit quite a wide range of people internationally.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's a great spirit. Everybody is just relaxed and just themselves, just going with the flow of the music, which is fantastic. Just a chance to go to a different area and become that area for a little while, and get the spirit of Mexico. I love the fact that there's so many children that are involved. I think that's the difference, is there's a huge amount of youngsters that enjoy the art and the dance and the creativity, and becoming part of a performance. They get the real rounded experience of something creative, and it's very unique with Margaret Morris Movement. I kind of got involved almost by accident, and just arrived at a teacher who was a rather good teacher, and then invited me to summer school. I was sponsored for my first summer school, and encouraged to teach. So here I am, a long time later, 72 that was. I'm teaching blue and green, which is very high colour. I'm teaching dance classes. And also dance technique 3 and 4, again, which is a very high colour, and also helping with magenta, which is actually the top colour. I think it's just a very vibrant country. I think people are not so held in sometimes. So they're happy to be relaxed and just go with the flow. I love that.
It gives people a sense of belonging to something which is very positive and which makes your life so much better. It gives people a lot of self-confidence. People who thought that they could never dance before all of a sudden discover the ability to move and express themselves to music. And of course in classes we have a great sense of fellowship. Look at what we have here. We have people who have started when they're 3 years old, and now they may be in their 50s, 60s, and they're still with us. And then we have people that have been doing it for 40 years and they're still with us. Or students just reappear again. They leave and then a few years later they come back again. So it must mean something to them. Every year we like to introduce a theme, and not just to be entertaining and fun, but something that people can learn from. So we like to concentrate on countries, but we've had, for instance, Greek mythology one year. Last year we had Polynesia, which again brought all kinds of interesting aspects to the workshop, and this year we had Mexico. And not just today's Mexico, we also explore ancient Mexico, Mayas, Aztecs. And so again it brings in a very educational aspect, at the same time creative. Oh, some people go all day long. We start with yoga at 6:30 in the morning, and then of course then you have your exercise classes and your dance classes and relaxation classes and art classes, and I mean, you can, if you wish, you can go literally all day long. Oh, baby, kiss me. Tell my heart to song. Let me swing by the lawn. You are all I hope for, all I worship and adore.
She's always asked me to do different types of songs for different occasions, you know. So sometimes we played gypsy songs, sometimes we played, French songs, we played some Spanish songs. Tonight we're playing, well, we don't know too many Mexican songs, but we're playing a few. But always we were able to do what I wanted to do musically. So even if we played some things that she wanted, I was always able to bring my band in and do the kind of music that I wanted. They are dancers. And when you play for dancers, you have to be very aware of the rhythm, you know. And when you play with dancers who know how to dance, you look at their feet, and you know, you always have to be so that is very good for any musician, any band, no matter if it's 2 people, 3 people, or 15 people. So it's very strict rhythmically. And that was, but also other than that, you know, the cooperation with her has always been such a joy. She just calls me, I say, you tell me when, where, and I will be there, you know. Well, I've known George for so many years now, and he always loves to come and play for us. It started
when I really liked his music when I first met him, and it inspired me to choreograph a dance. And so I contacted him and I asked him for permission to do that. And he agreed, and then he came to some of our rehearsals, and he was so excited to see his music in movement, as he said. And from that point on, we've planned together quite a few appearances where our dancers actually played to live music provided by George. It was very exciting for them, for both of us, really. This workshop really brings together people from all over Canada, and we come here to just concentrate on doing what we like to do. For a lot of us, it's almost like a miniature holiday, even though we work very hard, because we pursue something that we enjoy and we love. And it is a method which is accessible to everyone. We have people who we have men, and we have people who think they could never dance, and it not only makes you feel much better physically but also mentally, because you everybody enjoys moving through and with music, and it's very therapeutic. So I think this brings a lot of benefits to people. Well, Margaret Morris was actually a contemporary of Isadora Duncan, and Martha Graham came a little bit later, but she belongs to a group of pioneers of modern movement. These people realized, well, and Margaret especially, that ballet was a very artificial way of movement, and that it was restricted to a certain type of people only, and she wanted to create movement that was accessible and suitable for people of all ages, all abilities. She was a very clever lady. She was extremely gifted. She became actually England's youngest choreographer. And so when she had a group of dancers, she realized they all had posture problems. So she became interested in correcting these problems. So as a result, she went and studied physiotherapy. So here we had a person who was very gifted, not in only dance movement, but also creatively. She wrote books, she painted. She also gained the knowledge about human body, so she could start creating exercises which are not only beautiful and aesthetic, but also corrective and improve your body.
People in the back are waving.
Yes. 1, 2, 3.
Málo kdo ví, že v Torontě už 4 roky funguje služba ombudsmana. Na tento úřad se můžete obrátit s jakýmkoliv problémem. Zde jsou základní informace. What is the main role or what the basic function of ombudsman here?
So I'm independent from the local government. My job is to investigate wrongdoing or things that go wrong in the delivery of services. Citizens and residents can come and complain to us about something that has happened in the local government.
And for example, what are the most important cases? What do you solve?
Right, so we have a lot of complaints about social housing, for example. We have a big range of complaints from, improper garbage collection, allegations of wrongdoing. Housing is a big one. Transport is another big one that people complain about. People complain about social services, what they are receiving or not receiving. And then we get complaints about anything to do with public life, so parks, recreation programs for children, etc., etc.
Okay, so you can help people to solve it. Is it even possible to solve?
It depends on the complaint. Most of our complaints are easily solved, and what I mean by that is that we can fix something in a matter of days. We find out what's happened, the resident tells us the problem, then we speak to the government and we find out what's happened. And then there are those complaints that are very complicated that we do a formal investigation on. And at the end of an investigation, I make a decision about who was right and who was wrong. And we focus on trying to fix problems for thousands of people at a time instead of one resident at a time, because obviously that's the smarter way to go. It's also more efficient.
Could you please give us some examples?
Toronto Community Housing, where somebody was threatened with eviction, which is very serious. That's about their housing. And the company, they had no intention of evicting the man. They were just scaring him with this eviction notice. And we became involved, and we said, not only is this improper and wrong, and you must never do this again, but as a result of that, they got new policies and changes for the system for everybody that lives there. So that's an example of how we get one problem, but we're able to fix it for many. An easy fix that drives everybody crazy is the business of parking tickets. When you get a parking ticket, but you have paid on the meter and you put it in the car, but they didn't see it or they ignored it. We did an investigation on that, but the easy fix was you have to, city government, you must give citizens an opportunity to easily have that fixed. So now you can just email a picture of the thing you paid and the parking ticket, and they will get rid of it in 24 hours. That's an example of something that was frustrating thousands of people and was very easily fixed. We cannot, as residents and citizens, stop speaking out, right? Democracy isn't healthy because we elect a group of politicians to run the government. We have to continually, right now there's a huge debate going on whether Toronto is going to have a casino or not. We have to speak out for it, against it, what are the issues, what's the good things, what's the bad things. That's the role of the resident in this city, as it is a citizen of this country.
Do you have also some public meetings with people somewhere in Toronto?
I'm out many evenings, often at weekends. I attend everything from, Canada National Day barbecues to invitations to community centers. I go to LINK classes, ESL classes. As I said, invite me, I'll be there, because I fundamentally believe that this office is a little bit like an insurance policy. I hope you don't need us, but 5 years from now you have a problem. Oh yeah, I went to that, there's that office exists, right? So for me, it's very important that people understand it. I'm not looking for complaints. I'm looking to make sure that people understand they have this option. Citizens and residents can complain to us anytime, but before they come here, they need to call the department and complain, because they need to give the public servant the opportunity to fix the problem. Otherwise, we just become part of the management. So it's important. We always say to people, call anytime, but if you haven't complained to the department, we'll give you a phone number, we'll give you a person to call, because if you can fix it that way, it's much better. So that's an important piece. The other important piece, I think, that's important for your viewers to understand is that all our work is carried out in confidence. So, for example, if we publish an investigation report, you won't see your name in the report. We anonymize it. We protect people because we understand very well that residents are not in the same position of power as a government. Right? So that's an important concept. I cannot be subpoenaed to court.